everybody, welcome in. Thanks for coming. I'm really glad to see you. I look forward to our chats and visits. If you're new here, thanks so much for giving me a chance. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button below and the bell that notifies you when I post a new video. If you've been here before, thanks so much for dropping in. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Comment. I love the comments. I try to answer all of them that I can. And yeah, that's all the housework we've done today. There we go. So let's talk about adulting. As you know, your Auntie Angel is older and has learned a lot in life, and it just wants to share and spare you guys any heartache, any struggle, any pain, any mistakes. If you can learn from mine, please do. But I did have a lovely comment from one of our angel family who is 18 and is terrified of turning into an adult and doesn't know what to do. Hun, you're not alone. All of us feel that way. I find especially certain ages, 18, 21, 25, you're an adult, that's it. And I actually know of a family, they were a very weird family. When their kids were 18, out the door. You're on your own, you're an adult, get out. Whether they were finished school or not. Like I said, very strange family. And none of them are close. None of them. They all became successful, but none of them are close. So, I don't really know. I made a lot of mistakes trying to become an adult, thinking I knew more. And I think one of the biggest things I can tell you, becoming an adult doesn't mean pushing your family away, okay? It means listening and learning. It means, yeah, you have to make your own mistakes sometimes, but pushing them away, you'll regret, because later on, you'll want them close. And then now you have to repair. It's much better to, and if people tell you things you don't want to hear, just smile. Okay, thanks. Thanks for caring. That's your answer to everything. Thanks so much for caring. I appreciate you. I think it's the Canadian way of saying bless your heart. But yeah, it doesn't happen all at once. It's a gradual thing. And, you know, I remember I got my period early. And I was terrified because everybody was saying, oh, you're a woman now. You're a woman now. I was like a little kid. I was terrified. I didn't want to be a woman. You know, I was scared. So, and my daughter got it even earlier than I did. So I made sure never to say that. I just said, your body is now growing up, but your maturity and your brain haven't caught up yet. So let's just not worry about that. And she said she didn't have a problem with that. But yeah, it's a learning thing. You kind of learn as you go. And as you guys know, I'm 56 now, and I'm still learning. I can finally say I like myself. We're all going to make mistakes. It's learning from them, because if you learn from it, it becomes a lesson, not a mistake. And give yourself a break. You know, you don't have to learn everything all at once. And it doesn't mean becoming sophisticated and leaving your fun side behind. Please, keep who you are. The biggest adulting advice I can tell you is know who you are. Get to know you. Become friends with you. You. You're worth knowing. Okay? And you don't have to learn it all at once either. One of the biggest advices I can tell you is know how much money you have coming in, make a list of what you have going out, and prioritize. Part of being an adult is taking care of your needs before your wants. Okay? So your rent and your food's got to be paid before you buy those Manolas, okay? Or before you hit the Sephora sales. Know how much you have. I beg you not to get caught up with credit cards And if you do, try to keep a low limit on it so that it's never overwhelming. Because believe me, it's very hard to catch up once all those interest charges keep coming. It's really difficult. So yeah, and if you find yourself in over your head, the best thing you can do is be honest. If you can get a loan from your bank to consolidate, do that. It's much better to pay the bank's interest than credit card interest. What else? Let's see. Pay your bills, that's the biggest thing. Keep your word. If you want to be an adult, keep your word. Let people know that when you say you're going to be somewhere, you're going to be somewhere. Being able to be counted on is a huge thing. And I think if you've made the mistake in the past, and I have, it took a long time for me to get people to count on me again. I made a lot of mistakes in my 20s. I chose friends over family. I was mean to my family. I thought I knew everything. It's amazing how much I didn't know and how much they did know. Also, one of the biggest things with being adult, leaving toxic relationships. And you know what they are. And they can be family, and that's where you say, you in my life is hurting me and I can't do this anymore. I wish you well, but we just can't be around. And it's okay to give second chances. If someone is physically hurting you, get out. There are ways out. You contact the police, you contact your doctor, you contact your church, you contact public health, you contact a distress center. They will all help you, okay? But if you're in a relationship that's toxic, get out of it. And that includes friends. You know those friends that give backhanded compliments? You are so pretty for a big girl. That dress hides all your flaws. Oh, wearing that, or, you know, if you've got that mustache, it hides some of your face. Those aren't compliments, okay? You don't need those people in your life. I always say give them a chance, tell them what's bothering you, write it in a letter if you have to, although I don't like putting things in writing like that, but give them a chance. Keep your doors open. Unless it's harming you, then those doors are shut because you are too important to be hurt, okay? Nobody has the right to make you feel less than you are, okay? When you're first starting out as an adult, when it's time to look for your own place, you may have to look for roommates, and you've got to be super careful. You've got to make sure they're dependable with the rent, or you're going to be stuck with all of it. You've got to make sure you have clear and guidelines and boundaries of who can come over, how long they can stay, whose food is whose, that kind of thing. If you can afford your own place, like I said, make sure your bills are paid. You need to know how much you need for cable. You need to know how much you need for phone. And it can be overwhelming. It really can. But my friend Joan taught me always use a spreadsheet, you know, so that you have your month, your expenses, you know what you have coming in, you know what you have going out. And some months may be tighter than others. And that's life. It really is. I'm not going to tell you save 10% because in today's day and age, that's so hard to do. You know, if you can save and put a little away, great. But the reality is most people live paycheck to paycheck. And what else? What else is about adulting? And you know what? Eating at restaurants is expensive. It's okay to look for the days when it's cheaper. You know, they have specials, they have 2-for-1s, coupons. Don't be afraid of those. What else? Yeah. The other thing is, always remember, you can still have fun when you're an adult. You don't have to leave all that behind you. okay? You can still listen to the same music. You can still dress the same way. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual thing. It really is. Finding a job, you need a good resume. There's so many resources online to try to do it yourself before you pay someone to do it. Look at somebody who you admire who has a job. Ask them if they can help you with yours. Get as much experience as you can, and sometimes that means volunteering. Volunteering can really help boost up that resume. It also makes you feel really good. And if you want to see somebody work hard, look for somebody who's doing it for no money. Trust me, they work hard. And you can volunteer at a hospital, at your church, at a shelter, at a food bank, at a mission. There's so many places that you can volunteer at. And really that will help boost a resume, because when you're out of high school, what do you have on it? You know, I worked at McDonald's. You need to boost up your resume a bit. Another part of being an adult is making good choices, and that can be really hard because you want to do something, and there's still peer pressure. At any age, there is peer pressure. Any age, including senior citizens. They give each other peer pressure. I saw it with my mother-in-law. She was in a retirement residence, and holy crap, it was like walking back into high school. They had their little cliques, and they had their pressures, and they had the gossips, and yeah, trust me on that one. The best thing, and another piece of advice I can give you about adulting, and if you haven't done it, great. If you have already, there's nothing, you can begin again, okay? You can wake up today and say, this is the day I changed this about myself. Don't say anything behind someone's back you wouldn't say to their face, okay? That's Auntie Angel's rule. It's the easiest thing to do. If you have a friend and another group is bad-mouthing them, an adult stands up for their friend. And that's a hard thing to do, because you know as soon as you leave, they're going to talk about you. Part of being an adult is not caring what others say about you. And an easy way is, hey, that's my friend. Please, you can't talk about her in front of me. And they'll go, but you did say, nope, that's my friend. And it's really a good way to turn it around. So they go, oh, okay. Say, I would never let someone talk about you. And then they're stuck. They're like, oh, okay. See, I don't just tell you what to do. I try to tell you how, so that you have a tool belt. Auntie Angel believes in having a tool belt that you can pull out at any time and get you out of a situation that you're not sure how to get into. Another part of being an adult, and this one's hard, and this one took Auntie Angel a long time to learn. Are you ready? It's okay to ask for help. When you're stuck in a situation or you don't know what to do, it's okay to ask for help. Try to choose the person who has lived a little longer than you, who has been through a little bit, to ask for help. Asking your best friend what to do when she hasn't been through it, or he hasn't been through it, or they haven't been through it, not so much, okay? Yeah, so I hope that answered her question. And you know what, guys? I'm calling on the Auntie Angel family. I need my angels. Let's give her as much adulting advice as we can, and leave those comments for them, and let them know what you think is great advice for being an adult. But my number one thing, don't be scared. It's life, huns. It's what we do. It's evolving. It's easy to be nervous and scared, and never, if you're scared, never let it stop you. Not from doing what you're supposed to do. Now, that's not your instincts. If your instincts are telling you this is a bad thing to do, listen to them, okay? But if doing the right thing is hard, or you're scared to apply for that job, or you're scared to walk away from a situation, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, sometimes we just gotta pull on our big people pants and move on. And that's the advice from Auntie Angel for today. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope you guys really help and contribute. And thank you all again for your support for my channel. I really, really appreciate it. So as always, my angels, I love you. I value you. I honor you. And I'm so very, very glad that you were born.